You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
This makes my nipples hard.
Hey there, thanks for coming to the show, or putting the show on, or anyways, we're here, hey, and we're here to talk about taking our favorite games from back in the day and retconning. Is that the right word, to retcon something, Paul?
Sure.
Is this what we're doing?
Well, okay.
Or is it something different? Because I don't think I understand that word.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to just turn them into retro sitcoms within the time period they were released. So like, imagine there would be certain restraints as compared to putting out a sitcom nowadays. Because now you're just like, oh, get a contract with Netflix and do whatever the hell you want. But back in the 80s and early 90s, it was a little tighter than that out on the network scene.
Right, exactly. Are you gonna have Kirk Cameron tell you how drugs are bad, and before commercial, there is requirements. Look, we're gonna do a pretending. You're here to pretend with us. So let's let's put on our thing. Also, I wasn't told ahead of time that the sitcom had to align with the era, so it's we're gonna play it pretty fast and loose, it turns out.
We thought it would be fun if we didn't share our notes this time so we could surprise each other during the episode, but I'm rethinking that as being a good idea. I could have probably shared my notes a little bit early, but okay. Do you remember? Now, I didn't see this, but back in the day, there was actually a show made from Maniac Mansion, the game, and it was developed by George Lucas, Eugene Levy. Did you ever watch the show?
Love Eugene Levy. There's an emoji that looks just like Eugene Levy.
Yes.
the eyebrow one. You guys will work it out. But next time you use that emoji, you'll never unsee Eugene Levy in there. But no, I didn't see it. And I would love to see it, but I haven't looked for it in like 3 years. But the last time I looked for it, and it was quite a looking, let me tell you. I went on the archive. I looked through like torrents. I went to some of the seedier corners of the internet, and I couldn't find it. Like anyway, I don't think anybody's digitized it or whatever.
Was it not worth it?
Well, that's the thing. The show is apparently well received.
Mm-hmm. It had like 66 episodes.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Eugene Levy was kind of a big deal because he did all the Second City stuff. And he's also like the one that brought the comedic influence to the game because they took it. And this is kind of the premise for our episode, but they took it way away from what the game was like. Instead of it being like, okay, the game was, I don't know, quirky horror kind of a deal, right? There was a lot of puzzle solving, but in the show, to make it work for like a more broad audience, they just did a lighthearted, family-friendly sitcom, right? So Eugene really pushed that side of things.
So, right. Well, if you look at pictures of it, it doesn't really feel Maniac Mansion-y at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a computer game. From what I've seen of it, I don't watch it and go, oh, there's that one game they made out of an adventure game. Yeah.
Right. Like that must be Sandy. I think Sandy's a character in that game, but But for the sake of this episode, using that as a template is great because then we can just, really make it barely relatable and pass it off as, our thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of what we're doing here because, I don't know, like I was trying to come up with ideas for shows that had been brought out from adventure games before this episode outside of Maniac Mansion. Now, here's what I came up with. These are real things, but they're not based on adventure games. Pac-Man. Did you ever watch that one?
Okay, maybe. Like I can picture it playing on a TV in my head. Was that my TV? I don't know.
But it happened. They did like a Christmas special, and there was Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde, and they had to like travel for power granting pellets that fueled their world.
I was always a Blinky guy,
Blinky guy,
yeah. I don't know about you.
He's got a good attitude. I like Blinky too. Absolutely. Out of all, if you had to pick one, right? Because they're bad guys.
Anybody but that shithead Pinky, what a dick.
So that was fun. I remembered watching that one as a kid, but I was really young. It was on in 82. And then the other one that's a little later that you might remember was Earthworm Jim.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever said shithead before. Like, when you say something, you're like, that might have been the first time.
First time, shithead.
Yeah.
It does kind of feels interesting in the mouth. I'll work on that one.
You shithead. Sorry, I had to try it out like that too.
So, the video game, it was created, the show was done by a guy named Doug, but I think it was Shiny Entertainment, one of those like random Nintendo companies, ended up putting it out there for kids or for the game. But yeah, it was fun. I watched it. I thought it had kind of a quirky storyline, but it doesn't, like, in no way can you follow the storyline of the game, because what was the storyline of the game, right? Nothing really. You take a couple of characters and you throw it out there.
We're talking about Earthworm Jim, right?
Yeah.
Far out. Yeah. I did used to play that game a little bit with my brother, and I don't think I saw the show, but I know it's a show, probably because you just told me, but I now know that. I do also want to talk about more shit-related words. Because this, I'm sorry, I'm going off script here. She's like, fuck, he's going rogue. So, this is just weird. I was thinking about this the other day on the doesn't matter where, somewhere, not on the toilet. How dog shit and bullshit and bat shit, like all these different shits have different intricate meanings, and that's impressive and weird for the English language. Like dog shit is like bad quality.
It's bad quality, yeah, because batshit is crazy.
Batshit is crazy. Bullshit is not true.
No, not true at all.
Ape shit is like
off the wall.
Yeah, right. Rambunctious, like yeah. And then a horse shit is nonsense. That's horse shit.
Yeah, absolute nonsense. There's no way.
And then chicken shit. There's another one. Chicken shit. That's like cowardly. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh, it fucks like that too, right? They've done those videos where you're like, you can use it in all those different ways. And it's very surprising what you can do with the word. I guess I never really thought about the relevance with the shit. That's cool. Thank you.
It's like a little branch of the language. Just the shit related words you can cover a lot. So anyway, okay, sorry. I was going to bring up the fact that Sam and Max had a cartoon show. Good one. Thank you.
Good, because now I'm not going to I have one more to do, but I'm going to allow you to step in with this one because it is relevant.
I appreciate that, because I didn't submit an application for this ahead of time, so I know it's... Yeah.
I've got the VHS tapes to prove they have a TV show, so I don't even know why I didn't even think about it.
Right, we both got lucky. It just hit me in the head that it was because we have it on DVD. You can, by the way, if you're listening, that's all anyone's doing. You can get it on Amazon for pretty cheap. I got it when my kid was a kid. That's well articulated, and I used it to indoctrinate him with adventure games, as I've thoroughly done. But yeah, as a kid, I put it on for him, and it's really fun because it's really good. It's really annoying that it got canceled after 24 episodes across 13 and a half hour shows. 13 half-hour shows. Because it's really good, and it captures that like just magical mid-90s cartoon vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, Steve Purcell was well, I don't know if he was involved. I shouldn't go that far. It's based on obviously his stuff, but anyway, it's a really fun show. I watched it with my kids several times over. You can get it on Amazon for money, and you should.
Go get many monies, but not too many monies. Go now.
Yeah.
And the only other one I could come
up with. Please don't leave us. Sorry.
So no, don't do it now. Wait till after the show, because you haven't heard me say that Carmen Sandiego was a game that I played that was most definitely made into a show. And the Rockapella group did the like singing thing at the beginning. And I had a huge crush on the main singer of the Rockapella group. I think he was like, it was his voice. And I'd never encountered a Rockapella group before, or like any a cappella kind of group like that. So I was just absolutely enamored with the show, but mainly for the intro.
I'm picturing like a real like 70s beard kind of guy. That wavy kind of, I don't know. I'm picturing really like a lot of 70s stuff right now. I hope when we look him up, he's embarrassing.
He's cute.
He's still cute. Okay.
Cute. Yeah, no, he's cute. He's not like my general type that I would go for, but like, I think it was his voice.
It was his ability to rockapella.
It was, and outside of that, it was a game show. It was from 91 through 95, Greg Lee and I think this other girl for another thing. And they do like game show stuff and do little skits where they do like these little cartoon things in the middle, as was popular in the time period.
Wait, what was that again? That was Carmen Sandiego, and then they did her again, right? Recently on Netflix.
They did.
You're
They
talking
did
about
it.
the original, I assume.
Yes.
Sweet.
I think they made it into like a cartoon. I haven't watched the new one. And if anybody has, I hope that they like it. I hope they did a good job with it.
Yeah, me too. I'm never going to
Mhm.
watch it. So
No.
it kind of doesn't.
If I had a little girl, or like now I'm old enough that I'm like, if I had a grandchild that was a girl, because I've only had boys, I have like this like library list of things that I would play and or watch with them specifically because there's a girl. I don't know if that's going to happen though.
Oh, okay. You have like a little fantasy queue for a granddaughter.
Right. Yeah. I think, oh my God, I never thought about it that way. You're
I
right.
know that was sad when I put it that way. I'm sorry.
It sounded like more phantasmical, and now it's just like, oh, right, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Having a grandkid is a realistic possibility at this point in my life. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Terrific.
No, it's been a realistic for a long time. I think I have my kids like 28 or something. So.
Fun fact, I have slept with a grandma. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have not.
It was fine.
Good.
Yeah. Even though I brought it up, I don't want to talk about it.
That's what happens as we're older, right? That's the thing. It just kind of.
Oh, yeah. No, when we're older. Which is when it happened. Yeah. No, this isn't.
You're getting close to writing a time code down.
Okay. Also, Sam and Max was only one season. So I just want to go ahead and correct myself there.
Great.
So, because it's very important that you all know that. And I don't want to be on record saying something wrong. Because you know me. And precise machine of... Okay, why don't we start the actual show? Why don't we start... We're doing pretending. Anna's going to go first.
I was going to make you go first, but clearly from that diatribe you just went through, going first for me is a
hot potato, motherfucker.
Let's do this. So, okay, I'm going to start now. Have y'all heard of a little game called Space Quest? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, Roger Wilco. He's clumsy but optimistic.
Somebody just booed us in their car.
No, they did too. I feel so bad about that, but I'm glad that I brought some sort of a reaction out. So he's a clumsy, optimistic space janitor, and he's on the lam. He's running from space pirates because...
Wait, he's on what?
He's on the lam,
Is that a saying?
It is.
Oh my God, that's adorable. He's on a lamb.
No, he's on the lamb.
Oh, he's on the lamb. Yeah. One lamb has risen above them all.
He's on the lamb. Means he's running away from space pirates after a mop malfunction puts him at the center of an intergalactic conflict. Okay, so it's funny because his mop is a malfunctioning prototype, right? So he thinks it's just a mop. The mop itself is a malfunctioning prototype for this like crazy nuclear weapon. Okay. And these space pirates are always trying to chase him to get this prototype because they don't realize it's malfunctioning. So they kind of think it could go off at any time. So he thinks he's got a mop. They think he's got a nuclear weapon. Really, it's a little bit of both and a little bit of neither. And him and Beatrice, okay, yes, I'm choosing this for now. She's a sarcastic and gorgeous mechanic, and they're going to go through all these hilarious space situations together while fighting undeniable attraction with each other.
Dude, I love this. You got it all fleshed out.
You in? Are any producers listening? It's got a cast. Okay, you've got Roger Wilco. And he's a kind of a funny guy. He's really like into his janitorial duty. He always knows like exactly what cleaner to get rid of on every single stain. And he's really specific about his cleaning implements. And that's kind of like his personality quirk on the show.
Right. Like he's got like almost like I imagine he has like a CSI kind of suitcase or a briefcase. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Right? With like
exactly.
the right tonics for everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, sorry. If anybody recognizes that, by the way, that's music from Quest for Glory 5 that I just shut off because my mother-in-law was calling me.
Dude, I don't have to edit it because it fits in the show. That's awesome.
So I should have let it go a little bit longer. She might call me back and then I will. But yeah, he's not like super bright, but he's always optimistic and he has a knack for attracting trouble because it's a TV show thing. And Beatrice, she's super tough. She's got a dry wit and she'll tinker with spaceships from morning till night. And she's kind of annoyed with Roger's clumsiness, but she's kind of like, you're kind of charming, like that back and forth dynamic that you get in those TV shows.
Help me elaborate a little more. Like the like tensiony, flirty thing? Like, is it going to happen dynamic?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
She's kind of, it's going to be a back and forth because he's going to have other love interests and things are going to happen throughout the show.
No way. So she's going to be like the archetypical, like, feminine ideal that he strives for throughout the series.
Right. And you're going to see that in most of the games that I talk about today, because I think it was a really big part of that 1980s sitcom rhetoric.
Right.
Yeah. And okay, you go ahead.
What about so he's going to have like fleeting love interests all throughout, which is a great opportunity to put what's her name in with the hot dogs on her forehead.
Yeah, exactly. We should know that.
But it's okay that we don't because it's
came out of nowhere.
6 and
yeah,
the game's fine.
That's fair. So Captain Vom, he's going to be there, but it's like his voice is it's like in Inspector Gadget, and you only ever see a hand, or you never actually see him at all, and he's super grumpy, and he's the captain of Roger's spaceship where he was the janitor because it didn't blow up, because it's kind of a different timeline, and he communicates with Roger but only through the ship's intercom, and he'll be like, oh, you made this mess, go clean it up.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's it. And then Scroopy is Beatrice's Scroopy is the robot that belongs to Beatrice, but it's malfunctioning. And he always goes around dispensing like stupid information and causing mayhem by accident, but like to always be ever present at her side on every mission and everywhere they go.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah. And then the space pirates are always like, they're a rotating cast. They're bumbling. Like, think about the average villain in an 80s cartoon, like Gargamel, or just, they're all kind of stupid. Or in like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're obsessed with retrieving this bioweapon mop all the time. So like they're super obsessed, but they're also super duper stupid.
Okay, so we'd have like the running villains, like the Arnold robot, and what about Fester Blatz? Where can he fit in? He's got to be like a recurring.
Yeah, and he obviously runs the store, and that's where you go in and
for cleaning supplies. That's where you get your cleaning stuff, maybe.
Maybe he knows more stuff about, like, I kind of like how he was represented in Space Quest 6. It was like the store where you could get anything to fix anything, even yourself.
Right. Fester would be like, he could be like the tonic guy. Roger would be like, no, not this one. And then Fester would be like, oh, there's semen in the blood. I didn't realize that. Then you want this one for that. This will take care of both.
Exactly. And I mean, well, you'd have to use a different word. We're going within 1980s constraints. So you'd have to be like, there's like, this blood is tainted or something.
Right. Yes.
Like they're really like, and I think that's part of the reason why we've done this is because as I said, nowadays you'd be just like, just do the thing and say the thing.
Right. Okay. These are the guidelines we spoke of. Like you can't just play it all fast and loose. Like there's semen in the blood. You'd have to be like, there's traces of ejaculate been found around the area.
I'd be curious to see, like, because the 80s were pretty particular.
Yeah, you probably couldn't even say that.
I don't think you could have said that. I really don't. Not at that same timeline that this game came out.
Right. And how important of a detail is that for the show, really?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And how much is it that you just wanted to say it?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we're looking at like a 99-1 ratio here that he wanted to say it. Right.
So, okay, within those constraints, I've come up with like part of the first season. So this is the package I'm going to send to the network. Episode 1, Roger accidentally activates a spaceship self-destruct sequence while trying to clean the engine room with his bioweapon mop, right? Because that kind of sets that stage up. And the spaceship doesn't blow up, right? This is in the show. The boss stays in. Nothing happens. They figure it all out, right?
Right.
That's in episode 2, Beatrice tries to teach Roger how to pilot and look over a spaceship. Hilarity ensues, obviously. Episode 3, now this is where the story starts to set in because, we've introduced the characters and the plot because every single episode they're going off to a different place. They're going to go off to a different adventure somewhere else in the world. So Roger gets captured by space pirates who believe his mop is the key to ultimate power. As we know, it's a dud for everyone, super unsatisfying. As a lot of those were, you know how much we got led on by these shows back then.
That's fair.
Oh my God. And then finally in episode 4, now that we've kind of set the stage, we're going to go off on our first adventure. Roger and Beatrice land on a planet populated by sentient cleaning supplies who worship Roger as their leader. At the same time, guys are still trying. Space pirates are chasing him. Other stuff's happening, but that's like a running theme over and above your basic day-to-day storyline.
Love it. Okay. Okay, well, a few things. I'm trying to pick, I'm trying to think of 80s actors, which I think we both already discussed we shouldn't be doing because there's too many actors. It's like looking at a sea of
You're
like
making
100
me
of them.
type here. Listen, everybody has to hear this.
While she types, I think you all should know two things. One, I like Space Quest 6. I didn't mean to shit on the back there. Two,
No.
her name was Stellar. I kind of mumbled it when I thought of it, but in case you didn't catch that. And three, On the Lamb is not on the lamb like the lamb. It's on the lamb like LAM because it originally meant like beat or strike. You see, listen, it comes from the same Old English root word as the word lame. So the verb to lam meant to give someone a crippling beating. I'm so lucky that this had such funny wording in it, actually.
That's great. I had no idea about that meaning.
And so that's what On the Lamb means. There no sheep were hurt in the making of Roger getting out of there or wherever this all came from.
No, but it does mean he's on the run and he doesn't want to get hurt.
Exactly. Now, I looked up 80s actors, and none of these strike me as particularly 80s at all. It's just really famous actors.
No, and I tried getting it to show me pictures of actors from the 80s, but what they used to look like in the 80s, not pictures of what they look like now, because that doesn't help because now they're all 30 years older, but Google doesn't listen.
No, and it's very stressful when you see beloved characters or people you knew looking close to dying. It's just like your own mortality just reflected back to you. Like, wow, that guy's old. Like he's, now, it's all bumming me out hardcore, and it's my fault. So it doesn't matter who's going to play Roger. This is
Joey. Joey from fucking Full House is going to play Roger.
Who's the whoa guy? Whoa.
Oh, Joey from Blossom.
Wrong Joey. My bad. Okay. Every guy's name ended in a Y in that period. I think.
Michael J. Fox.
That's what I was going to say. He was like the Chris Pratt of the time. Like, just put Michael J. Fox in it. Doesn't matter. Super Mario Brothers, Michael J. Fox. We don't care. Yeah,
we're good. Some people from Footloose or something. We're good.
Molly Ringwald. I don't know. That's a female. Like we can officially say that this is going to be the best entry in the show because I'm not as prepared as Anna was. Like it was so good. Thank God. It was so good because halfway through I started going from impressed to scared. I'm like, uh-oh. I can't.
I didn't want to do that to you.
I don't think I can hang with this.
Your turn.
Fuck. Okay, let's just get right through mine, which will be easy because there's nothing to say. Man. Okay, my first entry is I want to do Laura Bow in a whodunit murder mystery series.
Nice.
Right?
I could get into that.
You got Laura, you got murders, you got mystery. It's like Murder, She Wrote, but it's Laura She Wrote.
It's like Murder, She Wrote, but cuter.
Yeah, exactly. And with a darling accent. And what else? So there's Laura, right? All just being peak Laura, really hitting her stride. And somebody gets murdered.
And she's played by that Molly Ringwald.
Right. She's played by Molly Ringwald. Exactly. That actually works really well.
It does. And now that I'm looking at pictures of her when she was younger, I'm like, damn, that's good.
So good. Perfect. There she is. She just got in a nasty breakup with what's his name? John Dorian? Mm-hmm. John Dorian. Sorry. And who, by the way, is played by Mr. T. I guess. Right. This is the first actor I looked at.
He's the fool.
And so they just broke up, and she's all like, "Great, now what?" And that's it. I honestly can't squeeze any more out of it. Just a murder mystery show, but it's Laura Bow. I'm pitching this for TNT, by the way. So
yeah. Right. I didn't say who I was pitching to. I'm literally pitching to Fox for that first one.
Like you got your eyes set on it.
Yeah.
See, I'm going off. I'm not. I don't know how to word it. You're going for that basic cable, but I'm looking for T, and I'm looking for a paid package here. Of some good old Turner Broadcasting something stuff. Man, I'm saying so many words right now without saying anything on purpose. and it's all just to say, you know, couldn't you imagine if Laura Bow had her own murder mystery show, what kind of fun she could get into?
She definitely could. It would have accents. And okay, here's the thing. Laura would watch so many people die in every episode, but that would be the shtick. Like, she doesn't stop a single death in any episode at all.
Right. Yeah.
And
yes.
she solves the mystery and she figures out who did it. And I guess in most shows, like, there's a death at the beginning and it just happens. But like, her thing is deaths happen throughout the episode. Because that's what happens. People fall dead around her. So it's not just that she's not solving an initial crime. Her shtick is that she's not solving any of the crimes, but also her shtick is she's fucking genius and she's totally solving the crimes.
Right, exactly. While simultaneously proving it wasn't her that keeps killing all these people whenever she's around.
Because it looks super suspicious, right? Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that. I'll play that or I'll watch that.
Perfect, because that's kind of all. That's kind of the end. That's as deep as mine are going. But I have several of them, so you can do like 3 meaningful ones, and I'll give like 5 or 6 fracacte ones. That's
good. Do you want to put in another one right now?
Sure. I will slip another one in right now. We got Gabriel Knight in. I didn't name it either. Gabriel Natural. He's Super Knight. Gabriel Supernatural. It's a supernatural kind of show, but with Gabriel Knight. So actually,
would it be on like something that would have like Sabrina, or would it be a little more hardcore?
No, this would be Fox after 8 p.m. X-Files kind of time slot. Yeah. There we go. X-Files. But yeah,
that's a good call.
So and it's just like, there's Gabriel Knight just being stone cold Fox with a couple love interests. You got to have the love interests. Who are some big, like, again with the actors? Why do I keep doing that to us? I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Gabriel Knight. And hey, look, it's Molly Ringwald again. What does she keep doing in all these? I don't know. There she is. She's there
is where she is. And these are all directed by John Hughes, by the way. Every single thing we've said is directed by John Hughes. And so Gabriel Knight he's doing X-Files, and he's got all these ladies around him. Vivica A. Fox, she plays the voodoo lady, maybe.
Right. Very good.
Who would have been like a 90s Asian actress? I think, are you supposed to say actor now? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Melissa something Chu. Is that racist? I don't think it is.
Oh, no. I don't know what that is. If our show is not really making any money, does it matter if it gets canceled? We can just do it, right?
Yeah, like, fine, but we're still doing the show. I mean,
okay.
you don't have
Take
to
away
listen
our
to
sponsors. We don't have any.
We're still meeting up every other Wednesday.
I'm sorry, folks. This is a paid sponsor. No. Okay, that didn't happen. We don't have enough listeners. Do you know what? Like they send me the emails in YouTube and stuff. I'll get them and then I'll be like, you know what is it that they're looking for? And I'll be like, they're like 10,000 listeners. Like, yeah.
Ever?
Okay. I guess, yeah. Like, is 10,000 listens over time by the same 300 or 400 people? Does that count?
Right. All of the potential to buy your VPN,
Yeah, no, nobody's helping us out there. But yeah, okay, I see the concept. This works.
Yeah, she's in it. Angela Bassett is in it,
yeah.
I decided. Yeah. So Winona Ryder's probably there. She was around a lot then.
Yeah,
Gina Davis, she was around a lot then.
Yeah, we're talking the cast of Beetlejuice now. Is that what's happening? Did Bill Murray show up?
Of course, who could forget Worf from Star Trek? Because he was already there. I guess we'd have to put Tim Curry in too, since we're just doing the actual voice actors from the show, from the game. But Gabriel Knight he's doing a thing every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Some supernatural stuff goes down.
Yeah,
and he's there, and he's probably a little grumpy about it. And
he is. There's a lot of sexual tension in that show too, I would say.
Yeah, he's sleeping with everyone, and that fits. That completely fits. I feel like '90s sitcoms had that, where like
Yeah.
if it was like an
Yeah,
attractive
because it would
solo
be
guy,
90s
he
for
just
sure.
banged. Even Jerry Seinfeld banged everybody every
Hmm.
episode. Of
Hmm.
course,
Hmm.
Gabriel Knight is.
Yeah, it makes sense for its time period for sure,
Yeah,
and its time slot and its network.
yeah, exactly. No,
So,
he's definitely so. Okay, well, I've exhausted myself and my list.
well, here you sit back and relax as we talk about Larry and Lost Wages.
Ah, sweet. Okay.
So we have our main character, a perpetually unlucky 40-year-old virgin. Now, okay, this is the 80s, so the show hasn't even happened yet, right? We take it first.
Mm.
And he's on a disastrous quest for love and self-discovery in the chaos of lost wages. So he's got a heart of gold, but he's always optimistic. And he still lives with his mom. So he hasn't moved out. And okay, Mama Laugher, she's like, you never, ever, ever see her in this one. Her voice just booms super loud from the top, like that Big Bang Theory guy has, the Jewish one, and his mom's always yelling from upstairs.
Yeah, very good.
Right?
Right.
It's kind of like that. But she's always dispensing unsolicited advice and threats to a victim all the time. So she's just always like, she'll say something that's totally inappropriate, but halfway related to whatever he's dealing with. But then she'll also be like, that's it, you're moving out tomorrow. Like that's kind of her shtick every episode.
Right. Yes. Love the shtick.
And then we have like your main cast. There's the hoe. And she never gets a name. So we never learn what her name is. And she's a sex worker with a heart of gold. And she offers Larry unreasonably good advice. That's her position in the show.
Okay.
We've got
for being a hoe. Good
like
angle.
Very,
Okay.
very good advice. You've got Fawn. She's a club goer and she just wants like free drinks and bad decisions. And of course, you're super like into that. And then you've got Faith, and she's a sweet and loyal receptionist, and she's devoted to her boyfriend. So she's always like talking about him all the time, but you never ever get to see him.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Right? Because in the game, it's kind of like that. She mentions him, but so that's the shtick for the show, though. So like her boyfriend is almost a cast member, but you've never met him. She's just always going on about him.
Oh, you're so good at this. That was such a trope back in the day. I didn't even realize it.
And then you've got Eve, and she's like the haughty patati, the big one, and it's always hinted at and never relieved, but like we don't know where she comes from. She's got like a super mysterious past. So you're like, it's kind of like, Balky in Perfect Strangers.
Yes.
And you just never know where he comes from. She's kind of like that. So she's kind of like exotic. She's kind of like a little bit like, and maybe some of like the ideas she comes up with are a little bit wild or out there, but that just makes her that much hotter and sexier and out of Larry's league because of it.
Right. She's from like Slavic Springfield,
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm picturing. That's it. That's it. So that's like you, and then you've got your cast of characters that you could come up with. It can be some of the same places. You can take some of that, but he's always going home to his mom at the end of the day after another failed quest, because the quest would be with like random people. Like these are just he's obsessed with them, but they're your regulars. They're not your like day-to-day episode stuff.
Right. Okay. I like that. He always ends up back at home with the mom because they always have the home base in the living room. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. Even though you never see him. Okay, and I'll finish it off. I've got my 4 episodes to like set the show off because this is what the network was looking for. Lesson 1: Larry takes dance lessons to impress Eve, only to end up competing in a senior citizen disco competition. And
oh my
God.
God.
He doesn't even win, so it hurts so bad.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's the poor guy. And then in episode 2, he tries to use pickup lines, but they're from his mom's romance novels, and it doesn't go very well.
Wow, that's so good. This is all so good.
Really? Okay. The third one is Mama Laugher sets Larry up on a blind date, but like this chick turns out to be like a professional wrestler.
Damn. Right.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Okay.
Yeah, because and then in the fourth one, he wins big at the casino, but then it ends up being like this gold digger that ends up getting super attracted to him, and it's in the wrong way. So, but obviously by the end of the episode, he loses all his money and he's back to square one again.
Brilliant. Man, these are oddly good. Suspiciously good.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, so the first episode,
because they've already happened. You know what I did? I just went to the other reality. We've talked about this. I saw what they did. I literally took notes and then I came back.
Gee, this is so good. Okay, so the first one he goes to, that's just so Larry, like going to the senior, and it ends up being the senior one. And
I know. I got Jacob helped with some of this stuff. We were all just kind of like all sitting around bullshitting what would be funny situations for him to be on. They're all just so ridiculous.
Dude, that's awesome. And Larry sleeps with a grandma. That happens for him. Well, no, I guess not. He can't ever. He has to go home to his mom and Chia Pet or whatever 80s.
Yeah, he's not actually. I think he's actually a 40-year-old virgin was kind of my tagline.
Beautiful. Damn, that's so good. It's got kind of the. I mean, it doesn't even have a Three's Company value because it's standing on its own legs. Damn it, it's more. I don't think it's comparable to anything in a good way. Like it makes me feel like it should have been done, and the time for this kind of show is definitely past.
No, we can't do that. There is no freaking way. When I was coming up with this stuff, everyone's just like, yeah. In what timeline can you do this?
Yeah. Well, there was a time. There was a time. It was recently.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered.
Your turn.
Oh, okay. Man, I'll tell you
That's
what.
why I only did 3, so we're good. I put it all in. I want a network to hear this. I want the IP released, and I want it to happen solely so that I can watch it.
Right. Wow. It's so selfless of you too. You're like, I just want to enjoy the experience and not even trying to get paid. Okay. Well, I figured a Manhunter show would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's unfair about me bringing this one up is that I said in chat, I'm going to bring up Manhunter just so I can dump it on your lap. But since you're already carrying the load of this episode, what would you do with that, right? Where they go from city to city is the premise.
Yeah. And the orbs have come in and caused havoc, so you need to like unorb the area. Yeah.
Did you ever see V back in the day?
No.
Okay, cool. It's a lot like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that helped.
Yeah, I knew it would. You not seeing that felt like a door slamming on this entire premise. So, but yeah, it's Manhunter, a game that I haven't played, and so I chose to talk about that, not knowing anything about it, to pitch it as a show, just on the loose premise that the first one's in New York and the second's in San Francisco, so therefore the show could be a globe-trotting sort of situation.
Right.
So that's
good. You make it into a show. You end up with you get these little action scenes, and it's really intense and dark. It's kind of a gritty show, obviously. Like, would the twist be that they add comedy in, or would they keep the gritty environment?
Yeah, no, it's no fun at all, for sure. Yeah,
Right.
You're not going to like it. It's going to get canceled immediately. Like, it's going to be...
Or is it more like Quantum Leap or something, That's just like a little bit out there, but there's some travel. Like, is there any humanity in it, or is it right into the lore that you don't know because you haven't played it?
Exactly. That's why I want everyone to hate it and to not watch it. Just...
Right.
Yeah, it's just a big old whoops. We shouldn't have brought
it's a show that won't even have mouse support. This is terrible.
Right, I was just trying to work that into it. It would grow like CSI did, another show I haven't watched. But imagine, Okay, how about this? It's a CSI like show in that there's like a bunch of them, and it's like Manhunter New York. And then, right? Because in CSI, there's like CSI crime scene or some shit. CSI whatever. CSI the other whatever.
So instead of CSI, it's Manhunter New York. It's Manhunter
San
Francisco.
London.
And you're always fighting those malevolent orbs.
Yeah, same show.
And you have to catch the same guy.
Yeah, like you'll wonder why there's multiple different versions of the show because they're all about the same. But there we are.
Right. And women over 60 like watching it mostly?
No, nobody does.
No,
yeah,
nobody watches it.
I was pretty clear on that. Yeah, nobody likes this show.
I thought Sci-Fi Network kind of deal.
Right. Like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys walked out
those guys.
on it. They're like,
they walked out on it.
We're not even doing an episode on it. Right.
So the only reason that it happened in the first place is the person had the money and the will to make it happen, but they didn't have the talent.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Some sort of nepotism.
Right.
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 A lot of cocaine on set. Things, yeah. Marlon Brando walked off the project. A lot of things just really.
There was like 14 Me Too's that came back at it in the mid 2000s. It was a big deal.
Yeah, like they knew they were in trouble when Corey Feldman turned the script down. They're like, fuck.
Dude, this is not okay.
He's like, I'm going to go be Donatello. So.
Right. Yeah. Or like a Lost Boy or something.
Right. Man, horrible.
I'm not going to make fun of him on this podcast right now. So we're just going to carry on.
Yeah. Nah, he's great.
No, he's great. So good. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis is my last one. But actually, it's called Indiana Jones and the Fates of Atlantis because it's broadens it out because now it's a show.
Okay.
And it's him and Sophie, and she's a brilliant, gorgeous psychic, and they're on a treasure hunt. So every single episode is a different treasure hunt. So you've got a new location, a new treasure, and a new villain, but there's also like an overrunning, very specific villain. I'll explain in a moment. And then you've got Indy with all of his trademark stuff, and you've got Sophie, and she holds her own in a fight.
Can she be Molly Ringwald?
She can totally. Sophie Hapgood is Molly Ringwald, and she's super intelligent. She's super psychic. She gets these premonitions, and she's also super badass in a fight. So you can get these like really cool fight scenes because it's a little later in time. You're talking Buffy, you're talking all that kind of stuff. It's a little cooler. And so Indy's old friend is always providing historical context. What's his name? Marcus. He's a safe place, and you store all of his artifacts, and he randomly has advice, right? Marcus Brody. He always has advice, so you can just randomly go there, and he'll just be like, oh, da-da-da-da-da, here's a thing I found out, or here's a thing that's going to set you off on your quest. It's kind of like their home base area that they go to.
Right. And you know, Marcus could be played by Denholm Elliott.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
By the guy who played Marcus Brody, actually. And
that works. Let's do it. Let's just, the cast is straight up. Okay. So, and then the rest of the cast is the Nazis, and it's recurring villains, and they'll stop at nothing to exploit the power of the ancient artifacts. Whatever it is that you're looking for, there's like each thing that he's looking for has a power. Okay. So they always want whatever the power is. And so does the person you're battling against in each episode.
Okay.
So like, okay, in the very first episode, this is, okay, I've kind of wanted this for a while anyways, but now I've put it into relation to Indy because it all makes sense. So I've put it all together. But the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, and they travel to Egypt, and they want to locate the Emerald Tablet because it holds all the secrets of alchemy.
Dude, let's distill some urine, bro. Let's live forever.
And they navigate booby-trapped tombs and outwit a ruthless collector and those pesky Nazis who believe the tablet grants immortality.
Man, well, it might.
Yes, right. I know.
Yeah, don't. Why are you making me sympathize with the Nazis?
I thought that was good. Okay, episode 2 is The Curse of the Jade Jaguar. So now they're off into Central America, and they're in this lost Mayan temple, and they're looking for the idol. And there's all these like hostile tribes and a rival archaeologist because he wants all of the idol's power for himself. And then those pesky Nazis.
Right. Yeah, I was getting all over things, messing it up.
And then the third episode's The Frozen Mammoth of Siberia, and he's got like this golden tusk. So they're braving the winter, they face blizzards and like all these predators and these Soviet soldiers, and they're hunting for this valuable tusk. And there's also Nazis.
Again with the Nazis, yeah.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. You're kind of getting that, right? That. But it's like, I was thinking like Colonel Klink or something, you know, like these very extravagant Nazis that are like very
like monocle wearing, having
yeah, exactly, super outrageous with heavy accents.
Right. That's what I need.
This came up, I wasn't going to do this game at all, but I was downstairs and I was talking to my dad, and we started talking about this game, and he started we started joking on and going back and forth about it. And I'm like, well, damn, this would make a great show because of the whole new thing every episode, and it has those 3 underlying currents. So like, yeah, we obsessed over that for a little bit this morning.
Oh, that's so good, man. You really made this work. Okay. So Is this Atlantis centric at all? Like where's Atlantis going to fall into this?
Yeah, so I hadn't figured that part out.
No,
I was about to film or video or not video, but chat with you. And I was like, well, it's not the fate of Atlantis anymore because there's different fates. So I was like, imagine that within Atlantis, there's all these stories that need to have all of these like things put together or found to be able to bring Atlantis back. And there's this whole overriding, like it's a multi-layered thing, right? So you have your fates of Atlantis, and that's what does it. That's what brings it all back around again. But it's like it's open-ended because, how many things are there? Well, there's a lot. I've got a list. It's he keeps getting told by Marcus the different things he has to find, and so the show can just keep going on and on and on.
Right. It's brilliant. I see what you did now with the Emerald Tablets, right? Like because Thoth, whatever was of Atlantis, right? And he
exactly.
It all the Egyptians. Nice.
All the way around. It has to be a whole thing. I was actually getting kind of excited because, like I said, this wasn't even a thought in my head because I already had the other two when I woke up this morning. So,
man, this is so good. There's an actor who's not Harrison Ford, and he should play him.
Yeah, the not Harrison Ford guy.
Yeah, not Harrison
Bruce Willis? Sean Connery?
Man, what is this dude's name? He's like a pretty big actor, too. That doesn't matter. He did one of those disaster movies. I know that. What was the 2020? Was that a disaster movie? Disaster movie. I'm just committing to looking it up. Nope, it wasn't. Okay, well, swing and a miss. I'll move on. But yeah, not Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. That's a good one.
Man,
yeah.
my brain just fucking came in clutch.
Honestly,
it hasn't really done shit all episode, so I really appreciate it. Finally,
Jackie Chan would make a great Indiana Jones.
Wow.
For real. You'd kill it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we all weren't thinking short round when you first said that. It's fine.
It's perfect. It's Eddie Murphy as Indiana Jones.
It's brilliant. It's a shame. There's jokes I'm not going to make on that would work. Maybe. I mean, that was utter incompetence speaking there, but yeah. Well, that's great. I love it. I've got one more. It's on par with the rest of what I've already brought to the table.
Suspiciously bad.
But but with the added bonus of it being the last on my terrible list, which is just not in like a best for last situation either. Like I really peaked at the unfleshed out Lara Bow thing that I had earlier because I stand by it that somebody could make that into a good show. It's probably Anna. I should have given you my list before we came on air.
Yeah, would you have? Just give me a few extra days. There's a lot of energy.
But no, they should make a Police Quest one.
Uh-huh.
It would be, hear me out, it would be like CSI.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go again. No, I have nothing. I'm not going to pretend I have anything for this one. It's Police Quest. Jesse Baines is, maybe be kind of like The Fugitive. Where no, that doesn't work at all. It wouldn't be anything like The Fugitive. Right. It would be like The Fugitive, but the exact opposite. See, because it stars the police, not somebody running from the police. But Jesse Baines is the overarching problem here, obviously.
Right. Obviously.
And because it's like a spin-off show, I'm going to go ahead and shoehorn Keith in as the main guy. Mm-hmm. Sonny and Marie they're having kids. They're super happy.
Right.
Yeah, it's inappropriate. I can't say that. Well, look, listen. This was never going anywhere. It's going to be a police show.
Right.
Because Police Quest. You see what I did there? You see?
Wow.
I was up pretty late on all this. Yeah.
No, dude, for real. I can see all the effort you've put in compared to me. For sure.
Keith is played by who's that guy? Isn't this a fun thing to listen to somebody do? Is struggle to think of an actor's name?
Oh no, it's just my favorite.
Great content. Fucking Stifler. Yeah, Keith is played by Stifler.
Oh, I have such a crush on him too.
I just feel like Keith has that look, like the sandy hair.
No, he totally does.
Darker beard.
And it's the way he laughs. He would do that laugh that he does in American Pie. That like
yeah, and it's
like
just
that
useless,
one.
like Stifler would probably be.
Yeah.
Sonny is Paul Rudd because they were in a movie together, and it's easy for my brain to connect that. But Sonny's he's just there every now and then. Maybe Sonny's who Keith calls for advice. And Sonny answers the phone like in like a robe, and he's like comic relief because he's trying to balance. Like they had too many kids is what happened. So he's at home with too many kids, two of which are the Olsen twins, of course.
But Keith always goes over there, and the kids are always treating him like Uncle Keith, but he doesn't really like kids, and he's always got a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, and the kids always end up with like a cigarette when he leaves because it's the 80s.
And he always has to take it away from him. Ah, Jimmy. Ah, Dad.
Yeah, you are suspiciously good at this. So yeah,
I really watched a lot of TV in the 80s.
Sonny has like a robot daughter. It turns out, from that show, whatever, with the Beethoven's dad in it. So
Vicky.
Maybe wasn't there a show with like a
daughter.
Yeah, was it?
She had the dad that was the designer dad, and he had a brother, and then there was the next door neighbor, Harriet, that had red hair and was really annoying.
Was the dad from Beethoven the movie with the dog?
Yeah, that guy.
Sweet. Okay, we made a connection.
Yeah,
it was called.
I love that show.
What was it called?
Vicky. Small Wonder.
That's it, Small Wonders. Yeah, man, this show was good.
Yeah, I love that show. I was obsessed with that show too.
It aired near Alf, I think.
Yeah, it did. It was in that same timeline. Yeah.
Do you remember a show from this era where it was like two dudes and they were from a different planet? They were from outer space and they were like on Earth. It was like very like a lot of sexual situations and like it's kind of like a pervy show. Not like that.
No.
Like just as far as like the the jokes they were going for, it was all very very low hanging fruit kind of thing. But it was two dudes from space. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, go ahead and do something about that.
Yeah, help me out here. Maybe I would recognize it, but I'm like, I'm working Mindy, but no, it wasn't like that.
I'm surprised you don't know because of all I gave you to go off on.
No, I know, right? That's
two pervy guys,
so ashamed of myself,
maybe from outer space. Yeah.
Like there was Out of This World where the girl could pause time by putting her fingers together, and then she could start time again by clapping her hands.
Wow! Like what do you mean putting them together? How
she'd touch her fingers together, like two pointer fingers touching, and time would pause. And her dad was an alien, and he lived in like a thing next to her bed. So when she turned 16, it unlocked her first power. Yeah, because her mom slept with him, but then he had to go to space to be a spaceman, right?
Okay.
And so, and then so she could pause time. And then as she got older and as the show got older and things got more tension wise, she would get more powers and things like that would come in.
Sounds like she was dealing with some childhood trauma in a very bizarre way.
Yeah. No, it was her power. It came from her dad. It was a whole thing. Because at the end of every episode, she'd have a conversation with her alien dad through the diamond box. Because she never got to see him, and that was the shtick. All you ever got was her dad's voice.
Right. Yeah, no, that part I understand. That's how I talk to my alien father as well.
Right. No, me too, for sure.
Yeah.
It's normal. It used to be a thing, but nowadays that's just how all
these
of us
kids, they don't know the trouble we went through with those diamond boxes.
No, it was so much work. Intergalactic conversations are never easy, though.
Fair, yeah. I just worried about the finger thing because it sounds like something you could easily do by accident. Like, fuck, I paused time again.
She didn't get it. It did, yeah, because it happened all the time. But when she paused people, if she wanted to unpause something or somebody, she could touch them and bring them into her paused world with her.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and she could make it so that they'd forget after if she needed to.
Wow, man, there's just so many troubling connotations that go with this show. It's remarkable.
It was such a good show, man. I love that show. But this is my thing. I loved those shows. Those were great shows.
So she could just take people into her time hole, with or without their consent, and they wouldn't. Yes. And then she'd just like Cosby them and send them on their way. They'd be like, I don't even know what just happened.
Yeah, but her mom knew about it, and there was others. So it was like a lot of like the ALF concept where you're trying to hide that you have these powers, but also using them for your own good, but then finding out the consequence because, that's what American TV was like.
Right. That's the lesson that we learned today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't take people unwillingly into your time hole.
Right.
And Cosby them. Right.
But that's a big thing. The Mandela effect and all that is huge right now. And I keep coming up with different ones and going up to my husband and being like, what about like, do you remember them having a gun in The Wizard of Oz? That was the most recent one. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, the Scarecrow has a gun. And then everybody was arguing about it. And he's like, well, now you need to pull out a VHS tape. And does our original have a gun? And, it's funny stuff to think about.
Right. It's almost like your due diligence just because you guys have a VHS tape and player.
We do.
That. Yeah. Like you got to help society out and do that.
Actually, it's right there. I have the Wizard of Oz VHS like 5 feet away from me right now as we speak. I didn't even think of that. But yes, I do have it.
But it's not rewound. So fuck it.
Oh, God. It would not be. Ever since they stopped putting the stickers on it and I put away my red race car, I have not rewound a single one at the end of watching it.
Right. Yeah. It made me think the Be Kind. Yeah.
We only did it because they charged us later.
There's a little bee on the sticker.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Remember?
Man, well, I think I bullshitted my way out of the police quest one because we kind of forgot what I was saying, and we're good. It's over now. So thank God for that.
We only lost a few listeners, but it's okay because they're gone already.
You know where they went? To find out the name of that fucking show with the two guys from outer space.
Right.
They were a little pervy.
I agree.
That'd be great.
I would have watched that. There's a few things. It's just like timelines, right? I miss like James was just saying today that he watched Breaker High and that Ryan Gosling guy that's all over the place now got his first kind of stuff going from that show. And I'm like, that was 97 and 98 that was on. Well, I didn't even have cable on those times. I was doing entirely different stuff. So I never even knew of the existence of this show.
I've never heard of it either.
No, right?
Sounds like some weird Canadian shit, honestly.
We do have a lot of those weird Canadian things. That's okay. We just take another shot of maple syrup and take it in stride.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we should end this like a classic sitcom and talk about, what we learned here today, folks. What I learned was that you should probably do a little bit of prep for an episode. Because even though you bullshitted your way out of many episodes in the past, sometimes you just won't be able to bullshit your way through one. So it's better to have notes. Here's my notes. Where it says, Laura, she wrote, Gabriel Natural, Gold Rush, which I think I forgot to bring up. I don't even know. Manhunter, Manor, because I couldn't take the time to spell it right. Man, this is bad. This is really bad. Oh yeah, I bailed on Gold Rush because that didn't follow the sitcom thing. Because that was going to be like an A&E, like true story, like they're following documentary style.
Is that why you didn't want my notes? Because you didn't want me to see how small yours, but mine are like 5 pages long.
Yeah, it was
because I'm like, do you want us to share notes? He's like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't want you to see how small mine is. So
it's not that small. It's just it's cold out. Jesus.
Oh my God. But yeah, there you go. Fun bonus round. Gold Rush, A&E, documentary style. They're following regular Jared around, and he's getting gold. But everything's like real bulky, like film equipment wise, and it's just it's not great. So anyway, why did I went into that like I had something again. Please stop saying that to me. Jesus Christ.
That was a bit of a tease. All right then. Okay. So thank you for listening to our episode. Hey, do you have any ideas about games that would make a great sitcom that are either more or less elaborate than either one of our ideas? If so, feel free to share that with us on one of the random places that you can find us. And for any emails or people we haven't responded to, I'm sorry. I appreciate all of you.
Totally.
And an extra special thanks to a couple of people here. We've got Gareth, thank you for hanging out with us. Michael Council, Jay Holmes, Brian Manown, Jeffrey Couch, Mark Fillion, Tim Ellis. All of you people rock, as well as everybody else who keeps contributing every single month to make our podcast keep happening. Not that it wouldn't happen. It just makes it a lot easier when not all of it has to come out of our pocket, because we do put a little bit of work and effort here and there for these episodes.
Dude, toast. Also, very special thank you to Gareth, and I'm going to be playing a promo that Gareth made for me with his awesome Murray AI bot. At the end, we do sometimes we'll do like a little blooper at the end of the thing, and this week it's going to be that instead. I decided just now, so
that's a great decision.
Thanks, Jan, and thank you, Gareth.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I can't wait to hear that. And as well,
you won't be here. I'm going to do it in editing. Okay, sorry. I know.
No, I just
like to play it back, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Appreciate all of you for being here. You know what? We're not consistent. We're consistently here. Y'all hear us. We're consistently here, but we're not consistent. And the information is not always consistent, and you don't always know what you're going to get. And the fact that you keep showing up for whatever the hell this is, I sincerely appreciate the heck out of it. Thank you, all of you. Say hi to us on Twitter at CGG Podcast or at the Phantom Fellows.
It's very scary. Say hi to us.
You all right? It's all right.
Good. Yeah, we're good.
Right. Okay. Check out the Phantom Fellows at thephantomfellows.com or on Steam, because there's, buttons you can click and stuff out there. It's quite fun. Email us, mail at theclassicgamersguild.com. Check us out on Patreon as The Classic Gamers Guild. Do not just Google us as CGG Podcast, as my son's friend found out. That's not going to get us first. You have to actually write either CGG Podcast in the bar, or you have to say Classic Gamers Guild in the Google search. I've just learned something.
I refuse to talk to my appliances. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm not a Hey Siri kind of dude. I'm not.
No, this is with typing words. This isn't talking words.
That's going to be my old man yells at a cloud thing. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not talking to a watch.
You don't want them to listen to you anyways. As much as they're already listening to us, you don't want them to listen to you more than they have to.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It'll leave some sort of mystery behind. By the way, if you type CGG Podcast one word, it does pull us up first.
Oh, yeah. All is one word. It's just if you do it with a space in it.
There's a lot of rules of engagement here. Don't use a space. All right. That's where we're going to get cross.
Or put quotation marks around things or, stuff like that. It helps. Check us out on Facebook. We're a page. We're a group. Classic Gamers Guild Podcast. We're also on Instagram and we're on YouTube. All over the place. The music at the beginning of the theme is A Minor Concussion by the Volume Remote.
Oh, I just got control of my band page again, my Bandcamp page. So you can,
good.
If anybody wants it, it's all free on the volumeremote.bandcamp. I think it's com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have the Phantom Fellows soundtrack up on there pretty soon, actually, it turns out, too. That's all done, and it might be good. You guys you'll let me know, probably passively. I'll probably just hear nothing about it and be like, okay, it was acceptable, or maybe a few people will be like, it was really good, and I'll be like, oh my god, thank you, wow. But no, it's all done. It's very fun. It's very 80s, very synth wavy, and I'm trying to make our friend Brian proud. Brian went out with Testify, and we'll see. But yeah, are you done?
Yes.
Are you done?
So done,
dude. Me too. Everyone, you're the best. Thank you very much. You could leave us a review. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and at the end of it, they were like, you should leave us a review. And I was like, I'm going to say that to our people.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? Leave us a review.
Somewhere.
Yeah, and make it a good one, I don't want your 1-star reviews. Self-confidence is very hard to come by.
I listened to the last 5 minutes of one episode. I've never heard it before. They asked me to put out a review. Here I am. Not necessary.
I don't like it. You could do that as long as it's jokey and there's 5 stars.
Oh, wait, we have a few of those. Those are fine. Those are friends.
Yeah. There's one on there that's like, this is the best podcast ever, and I'm definitely not one of the co-hosts.
Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah. Just wanted a few on there is all.
Just to get the ball rolling,
Mm-hmm.
I know it'll pick up momentum now. So do that. Do take care of yourself. Drink water. Call your mother if you got one. At some point you did. Let's not get hung up on that stuff right now. Just have a good day. That's not what I say. Imagine if that was our ending. And man, so stupid. Okay, well, listen, don't do murder.
Phantom Fellows, a delightful adventure game that's all about unraveling ghastly mysteries and poking fun at the supernatural. It's like a grim fandango meets the Secret of Monkey Island kind of vibe, with a dash of Maniac Mansion mischief thrown in for good measure. So, if you fancy yourself a clever detective with a taste for the paranormal and a knack for wry humor, then the Phantom Fellows will surely captivate your devious mind. Just beware of any skeletal sidekicks who might try to steal the spotlight. We demonic skulls need to stick together after all.